feel bad for Jennifer, but I will say she is a magnet for being scammed. She just had an entire documentary about getting scammed from some other guy, and I don't know, there's just something about Jennifer that she just doesn't have street smarts like that.
Some people have a type, but Jennifer Williams has a pattern. After the stalkers, the con artists, and the men with troubling pasts, you would think this woman would have learned by now, and what just happened in a Georgia courtroom proves that Jennifer might be the unluckiest woman in reality television. Or maybe she just refuses to see the red flags waving directly in front of her face. Her husband, Christian Gold, just got hit with a massive court judgment, and the details are absolutely wild. But to really understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning and look at the string of disasters that led to this moment. Basketball Wives premiered back in 2010, and Jennifer Williams stood out from day one with her stunning looks and bougie lifestyle that quickly made her a fan favorite. Her marriage to NBA player Eric Williams ended in 2011, but she stuck around on the show and kept giving us fashion, drama, and plenty of memorable moments season after season. What separates Jennifer from some reality stars is that she actually has substance behind the glamour, having graduated cum laude with a degree in political science and later launching her own businesses, including a luxury hair extensions brand. On paper, everything looked perfect for her, but when it came to choosing partners, something always seemed to go wrong, and that pattern started showing up early. Tim Norman entered Jennifer's life after her mother passed away, and the guy from Owen's Welcome to Sweetie Pies seemed like a solid match at first. A famous family, his own TV presence, and what appeared to be genuine care for Jennifer during one of the hardest times in her life made it look like she had found someone real. Behind closed doors, things reportedly took a dark turn, and Jennifer accused Tim of stalking her to the point where she felt terrified to even walk her dog at night. She claimed he showed up unannounced, followed her around, and displayed aggressive behavior that made her fear for her safety, which led her to file for a restraining order. Tim denied everything and tried to flip the script by accusing Jennifer of slashing his tires, and the whole messy situation played out on Basketball Wives for everyone to see. Here is where it gets chilling though, because years later Tim Norman was arrested and found guilty of orchestrating the unthinkable against his own nephew. Reports indicate he took out a life insurance policy on the young man and then allegedly arranged for something terrible to happen to him, and Tim is now serving 32 years behind bars. When the news broke, Jennifer posted cryptic messages online that fans believed were her way of thanking God for getting out of that relationship alive, and honestly, she literally dodged a bullet.
More and more people are coming out talking about he scammed them. This is so embarrassing. This is exactly what I mean when I say do not ever settle in life. I don't care how old you are. First of all, she looks amazing. She does not have to settle. No matter where you are in life, do not settle.
An experience like that should have made Jennifer extra cautious about who she lets into her life, and that brings us to Aaron Nichols. This man swept Jennifer off her feet, showered her with affection, and made her believe she had finally found real love after all the heartbreak. Aaron turned out to be someone completely different from who he claimed, allegedly operating as a professional con artist with a 2-decade career of deceiving women out of their money and possessions. Jennifer came forward in 2020 to reveal that Aaron had reportedly made off with her Range Rover and played her for a fool in front of everyone. The whole thing was humiliating, but she chose to speak out anyway, hoping to warn other women who might cross paths with him. She turned the painful experience into a VH1 documentary called My True Scam Story, and fans applauded her for being vulnerable enough to share what happened. 2 strikes were now on Jennifer's record when it came to relationships, and everyone assumed she had finally learned her lesson because surely the 3rd time would be the charm.
The thing about Jennifer, she continues to repeat the cycle. God continues to send you the same person over and over again, until you learn whatever that lesson is supposed to be. And she wants to be married, and she wants to have a relationship so bad, no matter at what cost. She wanted to marry Tim, and no matter what, I want to be a wife. She's willing to take just the title without really having in your life a great person.
Christian Gold came into the picture in late 2022 after Jennifer met him through a mutual friend, and according to her, the connection felt instant from the very first conversation. Charm, ambition, and a presentation of himself as a successful investor and trader who had figured out how to beat the system made Christian seem like the answer to Jennifer's prayers. August 2023 brought a massive teardrop diamond ring to Jennifer's Instagram, with the caption "Future Misses," and fans felt cautiously optimistic that maybe she had finally found her person. Red flags started popping up almost immediately though, and it came out that Christian, whose legal name is Christian Walden, had previously served prison time. Court documents revealed he was found guilty of false imprisonment after an incident with his ex-girlfriend where reports claimed he blocked her from leaving his place during an argument. That woman ended up jumping out of a window and sustaining serious injuries, and Christian received a sentence of 10 years with a portion served and probation ever since his release. Jennifer defended him fiercely when this information surfaced, insisting he was a changed man and that everyone deserves a second chance. But the hits kept coming one after another. A conversation about their upcoming Paris wedding on Basketball Wives brought a bombshell from Christian that nobody expected. He casually mentioned owing nearly $250,000 in restitution from his old case and said they needed to handle it before he could travel internationally for the ceremony. Jennifer looked stunned and claimed she had no idea the number reached that high, and fans were screaming at their screens, wondering how you could not know your fiancé owes $250,000. None of that stopped Jennifer, though, and she pressed forward, determined to marry this man no matter what obstacles appeared. Chaos erupted just days before the wedding when an arrest warrant landed for Christian in Georgia after his probation officer discovered he had been traveling out of the country without permission. The way the officer found out makes this even wilder, because Jennifer's own Instagram posts of them together in Italy and Switzerland completely exposed the probation violation. Authorities took Christian into custody and sentenced him to 15 days in jail, but in a twist that only happens in reality TV, the judge allowed a brief release so he could fly to Paris and marry Jennifer on September 14th. He had to return immediately after to finish his sentence, which meant there would be no honeymoon at all. Jennifer announced they would not be signing a prenup because she believes prenups doom a marriage before it even starts, and the internet had a collective meltdown over that decision. All of that drama turned out to be just the appetizer, because the main course arrived in early 2025 when 21 people filed a lawsuit against Christian in a Georgia court. The accusations described what plaintiffs are calling an elaborate investment scheme where Christian presented himself as a skilled trader who could multiply money through strategic investments. Court documents claim he allegedly charged a $100 membership fee up front, told clients to buy Bitcoin through Cash App, and promised incredible returns that sounded too good to be true.
There is a lifetime membership fee, $1,500. He does all the trading. When I sent the fee, they told me to go to Cash App and buy Bitcoin. I don't know what Bitcoin is, and why did I pay you $1,500 if I have to buy it? So I called to ask questions. I never got another response, but I want my $1,500 back. We're watching you flaunt your cars, your beautiful diamond rings, this Rolex in front of us, and we were robbed.
The problem was that he allegedly never invested a single dollar of what people gave him, and reports suggest he used money from new investors to pay off older ones in what legal experts describe as a classic pyramid-style operation. Plaintiffs claim that when people started asking questions or requesting their money back, Christian would either talk them into leaving it in or pay them with someone else's funds to keep up the illusion that everything was working. The communication reportedly stopped altogether at some point, and plaintiffs claim he blocked people, ignored their calls, and left them hanging while he continued flaunting a luxury lifestyle on social media with his wife. $120,000 is what the lawsuit claimed he allegedly took from this group alone, with estimates suggesting up to 150 people nationwide may have been affected by similar experiences. A second lawsuit followed months later, adding another $100,000 in alleged wrongdoing, and the accusations included wire fraud allegations, racketeering claims, and embezzlement charges filed under Georgia's RICO laws.
So in March, my husband and I looked at each other and we said, something don't sound right. Because if he's got all this money, and I'm going to tell you, our project accounts at this time, I think they were all running, and when we totaled it up in March, it was like $1.1 million equally between all of them. So we're like, there's no way he can't pull from this and give us yes, and I do have receipts of all of this.
Jennifer stood by her man through all of this and spent her time on Basketball Wives, putting out fires left and right while defending Christian against anyone who questioned him. Evelyn Lozada tried to warn her and even knew one of the alleged victims personally through a connection to her ex, Carl Crawford, but Jennifer refused to hear any of it. 10 toes down is how Jennifer went for Christian, insisting the accusations were lies and attacks from jealous people trying to tear them apart. Text messages from supposed satisfied clients praising Christian's skills appeared on her social media, and she quoted scripture about weapons forming but not prospering as her response to the controversy. The courts made their decision though, and it landed hard because Christian never responded to the lawsuit, never showed up, and never even hired an attorney to represent him. That silence led the judge to grant a default judgment against him, and because the case fell under Georgia's RICO laws, the damages got tripled to a final number. January 12th of 2026 brought the official order for Christian to pay $367,025 to the plaintiffs who filed the lawsuit. One last chance came from the judge who said paying the court costs within 10 days would allow Christian to reopen the case and present a defense, but Christian did nothing with that opportunity. The judgment stands as final now, and those who filed the lawsuit hold the legal right to collect what they are owed. Christian has gone completely silent with no posts, no statements, and no appearances anywhere, while Jennifer remains online still defending him and acting like everything is fine, but fans are not buying it anymore. The question on everyone's mind now centers on whether Jennifer is just incredibly naive or knows more than she lets on about what Christian was allegedly doing. Some people believe she is simply a woman who wants love so badly that she ignores every warning sign that appears in front of her face. Others think there is no way she could remain this blind after everything she has been through with Tim and Aaron before Christian came along. A few have even suggested she might be aware of whatever Christian was allegedly doing because she sat right there beside him enjoying the diamonds and the Chanel while plaintiffs claimed they were losing their savings. What we know for certain is that Christian reportedly has no money of his own, which means if those plaintiffs come to collect, some have speculated that Jennifer might be the one writing the check. A marriage without a prenup means his debt now potentially becomes her debt, and that reality is starting to sink in for everyone watching this unfold. Evelyn Lozada is probably somewhere right now preparing her receipts for the next 5 seasons of Basketball Wives because this situation handed her endless material. Jennifer wanted a fairy tale wedding in Paris, and instead got a husband facing massive court judgments, RICO allegations, and a trail of people demanding justice for what happened to them. Bad luck can only explain so much before you have to stop and look in the mirror, and Jennifer Williams might finally be reaching that point whether she admits it or not. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss any of the celebrity gossip. Thanks for watching.